This would be a quick tutorial over time of day and segment practice timer mode. On the other side of this insert is segment mode insert. On this side is time of day. Make sure your controller's plugged in if it's radio to boot up, or if it uses the 3-pin if it's cabled, use that as well. Once you get your controller booted up for time of day, simply you just need to enter in time. If it's 4:30 right now, I'd hit 4:30 clock set, and I'd go ahead and start the clock, and it will start from there, and it'll work just like a normal clock, a watch, anything like that. It's going to go ahead and just be a normal time unit for you. Turn off your clock switch, and let's go ahead and pull this insert out, flip it over to segment. Now keep in mind, if for time of day it is its own program, so you'll have your own controller. If you have a scoreboard that also has time of day built into it, you'll have a controller that's keeping track of that time, and then you'll have your normal football controller for your football scoreboard or your baseball scoreboard. So you have two controllers in that case. Now, segment timers that use MSXs will be an EB3 or an EB5. So they have a 4-digit clock at the bottom, and they have a 2-digit clock on top for snap clocks, play clock. So you have the ability to do both there. So I'm in time of day. Let's get into segment mode. So if I go function 3 enter, that's my select sport. If we look here, if I use the next and back keys, practice timer is number 9, so I'm gonna go ahead and press 9 enter. Now I'm in segment mode. Let's go to modify rules first. 5 minutes, so you can only set whole numbers, so 1 2 3 4 5 10 30. You can't do 5.5 or anything like that. It has to all be whole numbers, so it's defaulted at 5. I'm gonna keep it at 5. I'm gonna hit next. My inner segment time is the time between after the horn sounds and then you move on to the next segment, like segment 2 from 1 to 2. You have 5 seconds in between, so the horn blows. You have a couple more seconds, and then you see the second segment will start. So you can change that here if you want to have a little bit more increment between the two periods of time. Play clock, it's at 25. I could change it to 40, hit 40 enter, change it to 40, hit next, and then we're back to segment time. So I'm going to hit restore LCD to go back to my main menu. I'm going to start a new game, 1 enter. When you look here, here's your time. This 5 is relative to this 5 minutes, just shows a 5. You're in segment 1. Your clock is off currently, and then this is your snap clock, so I have it to 40. So whenever I hit the clock switch, you'll see that it will start counting down. You'll see it says clock on. For your snap clock, you'll use the run reset handheld. So you plug that in and hit run, and it'll count down that 40. I hit run again, it'll pause, and then I hit reset, and it'll reset it back to 40. There is a hidden key under here. If you press right underneath default time, you'll see that it actually starts. Press it again, it stops it. And right underneath inner segment time, it will reset it back to 40. So if you don't have your handheld or you forgot it, there is 2 secret keys underneath here to run your snap clock. If we look at the buttons here, you have default time, inner segment time. You have these, but it's better to set them in modify rules than try to change them on the fly. In most circumstances, you would most likely just quickly go into modify rules and edit it and then come back. But segment here is where, if I wanted to go to segment 25, I'd hit 25. And you hear that beeping, you have to have the clock switch off. So I want to go to segment 25. So I hit 25 segment, and now I'm at 25, the 25th segment, and then I could start from there, let's say. So segment clock is pretty straightforward. So you modify rules once you set it. That's where you're going to edit everything, and then as you run it, most likely you will just set it and forget it, and you'll let it run its 5-minute segments with its 5-second intersegment times. And this is just a quick tutorial over practice timer mode and time of day mode on your MSX controller.